training. Like, they're definitely going to make his fighting style pretty freaking brutal. Hey!
Hey! Welcome to No Comics for Old Men with two old men.
Yes.
So there's no comics here. No more comics. That's it. We're done.
Just old men.
Just old men. Here we are.
See you next week.
No, we're going to do the FOC. We're going to do the FOC, but I was digging through my boxes like, I'm supposed to do. You hear them all complaining, they don't price their books. People don't price their, stores don't price their books. They're not going through back bin, reprice stuff. I don't. A lot of these guys who are complaining about this are treating comics like commodities. They have a show, the Market Report. And I watch these guys. I like them. They're very knowledgeable, but they want to be able to buy the book from me for $3 and then flip it for $60. You can't treat it like a commodity and expect me not to. You go into a store, a gold store, to buy a commodity, they check the price of gold today. You go to the, if it's like a stock, I'm going to check whatever the price is today. So there's my little rant about that for today. But I found some gems you might want to look out for in the dollar bins. They don't have a lot of value, but they can be pretty collectible, and they might have some value down the road just because of their coolness. Little Barry Windsor Smith stuff, Fantasy Pathways on Pacific. If you check these comics out,
it's got a lot of great artists. John Bowling, Jeffrey Jones, Barry Windsor Smith.
Barry Windsor Smith does the first story. There's a couple of, it's like an anthology. The art is amazing throughout.
Old Pacific comics.
Yeah. Like this is probably, I believe this is 1984. Yeah, 1984. So, it's almost 40 years old, getting there. Another one is a cool book that I haven't seen anybody, like if you're one of those people that like to collect like the Wolverine slashed cover, all the die cut stuff from the 90s. Here's a Malibu one where they went a little overboard and there's
a bullet hole.
A bullet hole right through him, all the way through the book, all the way. They committed, not just to the first page, but right to the last page. I can almost see you. So that's a fun book to find. It's, it's Protectors #5 on Malibu.
And it's great if you want to eavesdrop on people.
Yeah.
You can pretend you're reading stuff while you're looking at what everybody else is doing. So
and
that's great if you're a strange comic reading recluse,
Yeah, that's right. And if your eyes are far enough apart.
Yeah, if you have a giant head, yeah.
If you have a gigantic,
it could be a Halloween costume. It's
that's
a totally
right.
versatile book.
Yeah, very versatile. And then Marcosia was a company in the 2000s. I can't remember when they closed down, but they had some really cool Clayton Crane covers. So here's a Scary Clown cover that's out there for you Clayton Crane collectors.
Ghost Rider artist,
Yeah, just really awesome work.
And you can get them cheap. That's
super cheap. These are in my dollar bin. They don't really have any value, but if you collect certain artists, you can dig and find stuff that's out there that they did when they were coming up in all these independents. There's a lot of independents that are out of business now. Pacific's out of business. Marcosia is out of business. First, it's not really out of business, but they're not really making anything.
Yeah, they're not putting anything.
They're like, we're not out of business. We're still not really producing work, but we're here. Oh, we got a comment. Oh, hey, what's going on, man? Edward from Dingman's Ferries. How you doing, brother? Yeah, thanks for stopping in and watching the show with us. We're going to get right into the FOC. Just wanted to touch on a couple of books I saw cool this week when I was digging. I'm always digging in my own books.
That's good. You got a lot of stuff, so sometimes you forget what you have.
Yeah, just in case you haven't been down to the
I have
shop.
the same problem.
We got about 100,000 books, back issues, not including the new stuff. We probably don't bring in as much new stuff as we do old stuff, but yeah, I'm always buying collections. If you're dumping your stuff, we're buying, so bring it on in. So the first book from Image is going to be Echo Land, I believe. Yeah, Echo Lands. Yeah. And
J.H. Williams.
Yeah, what a great cover, man. I wish they had a couple of shots of like some interiors because I love this guy's art. But we were looking into it. I thought maybe just the cover was going to be in landscape, but this whole book is going to be in landscape. There's a cover A and a cover B. It's pretty much like a color swap. It's the same cover, but it's like they recolored it.
It's hard. It's like the same silhouette, but there's
a different character
silhouette,
right?
Yeah.
So maybe the one is the hero and one is the villain.
I don't know. With his usually landscape book, I'm like most people. I'm not too crazy about reading the long lays, but I think J.H. Williams, the way he draws anyway and lays out a page, I think he can really use that to his advantage and make it very widescreen, especially if you're doing a double page, like a double page spread in landscape.
It's going to
be pretty pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I would buy this just on the strength of the creative team.
Yeah, I brought it in for that reason because the guys that are on it and the cover. I mean,
yeah, you can't. I mean, J.H. Williams. He always reminds me of like modern age Steranko, because the way he arranges a page.
Yeah.
It's along those lines anyway.
As far as his composition, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, not style. No,
no.
Definitely not. But just the way he does put together a page.
Well, I love, that's one of the greatest things I loved about Steranko. I mean, his composition was just way.
He brought like a graphic designing element to comics.
Yeah. They were like mini posters that, like, for movies that, like, you wanted to pull off the shelves. And
definitely.
Like that art is lost for a lot of people, man. There's a lot of covers out there. The book inside, the writing and the art is amazing and it's great. And the covers just don't grab me. I don't want to take it off the shelf.
Yeah.
That's why some of these books get found like 3 months in, 4 months in. People are like, hey, this is a really good book. Oh, I didn't know. Something's Killing the Children. Everybody says, oh, I was on it from the beginning. Yeah, that's why there's not. That's why they made an 8th printing because everybody was on it from the beginning, right? No, like if you look at that cover, it says Something's Killing the Children. It's kind of cool now that you're looking at it, but now that it's popular, like, hey, that's kind of cool that they just kind of shouted out the name and there's like a small, insignificant person in the background. The Frizen covers were great.
Well, yeah, the reprints after, especially once it started building up steam and selling, and they're doing multiple prints.
Right.
They can kind of play around with the cover art more.
Right.
It was like I like the minimalist stuff he did, but I didn't like. It was another one like I wasn't really familiar with James Tynion's work before that, so it was like, I just walked by it, and then when everybody's telling me how good it was, and I read the first graphic novel, like, everybody was right.
Yeah.
And I kind of I was sleeping. I missed out on a lot, but it's a great
I think we touched on it the last time we were on. Oh, sorry, we missed last week. I had a lot of stuff going on. I had to work overtime and stuff, so we just couldn't. I just needed a little bit of sleep. Please, just at least 4 hours.
That's all you need.
So so sorry about last week, but the week before we were talking about this before. Marketing, man. It's just like I know it's a lot about the store owners hand selling independence. Like, we have to read as much as we can, and then so that we can go, oh, I know you liked this book. This is a lot like that book, but with a style-wise, you don't want to read the same thing over and over again. It's exactly like the book, but style-wise, guys who like certain authors are kind of like looking for certain things. So I'm a big post-apocalyptic guy. If it's a post-apocalyptic, I'll read the first 4 issues just to get into the world. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then if it's not good after that, I'm out. But like if you're doing post-apocalyptic, The Few, Nocterra, Scout's Honor, or just some of the recent ones that are just knocked out of the park for me. But yeah, so we've only got to the first book, and I think we've been here 20 minutes.
Not that we're going off on a tangent again, Not that that ever happened.
It's only 19 days, Ed, until free comic book day.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. My free comics have not come in yet, and they were supposed to ship for tomorrow, and I called Diamond because usually we have them like 3 months in advance. But no, they said they're actually not even going to come here tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. They said maybe Wednesday, so hopefully they come in. So what do we got next? After Echolands, we got...
Nocterra, there you go.
Let's talk about... Look at this cover, man. This is marketing. Look at that cover. I would pull that off the shelf. I don't care if it's issue 6. Look at that, like her face. She's changing. Something's happening. Yeah. I got to know what's going on.
Tony Daniel. There you go. This has been a good series too.
Yeah. Well, great writing.
Yeah.
Right? And then great art from Tony Daniel. I mean,
Yeah,
when
from the
Scott's either with Tony or with Capullo, and they do just magic, man. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just this has been a great story so far. I can't say enough about it. I really love it. I love how scary and innovative the creatures are.
Yeah, it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
A little bit. You know, like I guess it's similar to a lot of the stuff you've seen recently, or Box, those kind of things.
Right.
You know, something strange happens to the earth, and weird creatures come out and kill you. What's not to like?
Love that. So there's 3 covers for this, and I'm getting all of them. There's that one, which is okay. That one's okay. I think the next one's really okay too. The 8 cover's the bomb.
Yeah.
Really, so.
That's what. Yeah, and that one seems to more encompass the story or what's going to happen. As far as
Yeah.
I just read 5 not too long ago, so.
Yeah, and I think this is the end of the first arc. Yeah, it says that end of the first story arc. So, if you haven't been reading this and you want to get into Nocterra, number 7. Put in your order for number 7 because that's going to be a new story arc. Great jumping on point. It'll be all about it. But, you know, pick up this cover, man. Even if you're not going to read it, it's
it's just a great cover, man.
All right, after Nocterra, this is going to be a pretty quick FOC. There's not a lot of stuff. This is a 3rd printing of Black, a Radiant Black, number 5, 3rd printing. I usually don't go this deep for later issues, but I really liked this cover. Kind of reminiscent of Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Right? Very stylized.
Helmet, especially.
Yeah. But I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, the art style is very cool.
Yeah. Picked up 2 of them. 3rd prints are sometimes picking up speed later on. Something happens, they turn this into a cartoon or a television show. 3rd prints are going to be hot, so I'll just put it in the back bin.
Collectability.
Yep.
To have a couple of different covers if you really like the series.
So after Radiant Black 3rd print, there's Radiant Black 7, I think is out. Yeah. Man, if you were trying to distance yourself, this is the writer from Power Rangers.
Oh.
If you were trying to distance yourself from your previous writing, this cover doesn't do it.
No, it was like I thought. It looks like North Star from Alpha Flight. That's what it reminded me of. And it was like, okay, so if North Star joined the
Power Rangers,
there you go.
Yeah, I see that. This is a new story arc. So anybody that hadn't been on Radiant Black, this is very important. If you're a writer, if you're new to the business, if you've been around in the business forever, give us jumping on points, and when you do, make sure they put it in into your book, into the previews guide, that it's a new story arc. Because anybody who missed out wants to find that spot to jump on. Maybe they were reading something that couldn't fit your book into their, people have a pocketbook, you can only buy so many books.
Well, there's a lot of books that come out. A lot of times, something, if it doesn't, for whatever reason, whether like we're saying, with something scaling the children, with the cover doesn't jump out at you, and you just walk by it. You don't notice it. I was buying
a mini-series, and the mini-series is over, and I have room for a new book.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to buy a number 1, but maybe I got a jumping on point because my friend said this book is great.
Yeah. And then you pick up the rest of the stuff in trade.
Listen,
it's always nice to read it in big chunks.
If you look at how Walking Dead, that formula of how many jumping on points,
and it took them a while to build the audience that they have.
There was, I think they sold more issues of their last issue than they did of their first 10 issues, maybe combined.
Wow.
So, Second Chances. It's a number 1. I'm not that familiar with the creative team. I figured I would give it a shot. One thing you can know about Image is they really vet their product.
Yeah.
Right? So creators don't just get to print my book. That's not how that works. Image tries to keep, a certain amount of quality. It's not always like something you like. but it's going to be a quality book.
And the thing I like about what they've been doing for quite a while now is variation of stuff that they release.
Right.
It's not just superheroes or
right.
stuff like that. It's all genres, different stories. So I mean, out of the stuff they put out, there really is something for everybody.
Yeah,
and there's always new stuff. There's always new series coming out.
Yeah, they were really out of the superhero game for a while, man. Yeah. They didn't do a lot of superhero stuff. Other than running Spawn regularly, there wasn't a lot of. But now, like, we see more and more. But I think this book is more of like, it looks like more of a horror edge. The cover intrigued me.
Yeah.
And it's a #1. You got to try it out. You got to see if maybe it's going to be great. You don't want to miss out on the next
well, yeah, children. Yeah, that's too. For $4, I mean, you could take a chance.
Right. I don't think this even has a other cover. So I think that's the only one.
One cover for second chances.
So this is Black Hammer. Yeah, it's. This is not written by Lemire.
Yeah.
This is his world, and I think he is, I'm sure, editing, or at least.
Yeah, you would think he's like at least curating it,
right,
to some extent, and they're just doing expanded universe.
Everybody that's been on it, that has been in the Black Hammer universe, subscribers for me, has not complained, so it must be pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of dropped off after like the first main series. I liked it a lot, but it was like it just seemed like there's too many books for me to keep up with.
It is a big. He's building a big universe,
a lot, which I mean is great because the premise is very cool, and it was. I mean, with Lemire, but that's the thing. It was like I kind of want to read Jeff Lemire doing Jeff Lemire's books.
Right.
That's my big thing. It was like yeah, it's the universe.
Yeah, and he's writing so much other stuff. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, I guess you can hand this stuff off and edit it and cure it, and if you're still getting the numbers, why not keep it up? But it's a great world, and look, you can, if nothing else, you can trade weight it, pick up the trades. I'm not a big fan of doing that but these are, when you're talking about something that's only running to #8, it's not an ongoing. Pretty much that's where they make their money is in the trades.
Yeah, they're gonna collect it. I don't. I prefer to buy the singles just because I think that's where the company's bread and butter is, especially if it's an independent series.
Well,
it was like they're kind of, if you want to see the rest of the story, you got to kind of
company's money is actually in the trades. The creative team's money is in the singles.
In the singles, yeah. Which I would rather, I'd rather support them,
right?
And, so they can keep making the book that I happen to like reading.
So Image takes a flat fee from the singles, and then we got a lot of. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad. Enjoy yourselves in the chat while you're watching. That's super great. So after you pay the fee, then everything goes to you. In the trade paperbacks, it's like, I think it's like a 40-60 split.
Oh, so they get a bigger cut.
They get a much bigger cut of the trade paperbacks. So, when Image is looking at a book, they're like, well, we really don't. If you're like a 5-issue or 6 or 8-issue miniseries, or even a 12-issue maxi series, where we're going to get 2 trades out of it. If it's a really good story, we don't care how many.
That's cool. I mean, at least it gives you to give the creators a chance to tell the story they want to tell.
If you watch any of the guys who are talking about the money in comics, where trades were at the last 3 years, like it's been, I think it's up over 30% a year. The trades have been coming up, so it's a big moneymaker for Image, and I'm sure it's a big moneymaker for. If it's a big moneymaker for Image, everybody else is making a dime on it. So
no, it's true.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the smaller companies are. If your book didn't make enough money for the printing, they're taking all the trade money until your book's paid off.
The publisher has less to lose than the creator does, for sure. But they also probably have more invested in the front end. So
I mean,
it evens it out. I mean, at least if you're doing an Image book, your book's going to get out there.
Whether
or not people latch onto it and want to read it, it's a different story. But
I still try to convey out to the watchers and the readers and the people who go to comic shops. This is not like a easy cut and dry business. It really isn't. It is, you know, it's comics are the golden goose, and you have people out there strangle it to get that last egg out. And your comic shop,
with anything else too, though,
we're trying to make a nest for the goose.
Yeah.
Because we want to be here for 30, 40, 50 years. You know, we want to hand it off to somebody else, make more comic readers and that. And, you know, let people make the money they're going to make out in the speculation world and all that. And, but like, leave a little for us.
Yeah,
you know,
the people who actually enjoy it for what
some working capital.
For what it is. Yeah.
We'd like to save a little working capital.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, so I think this has got 2 covers or 3 covers. I don't think I'm getting the other 2 covers, so I think I only put this one up. What do we got next? Killer Queens. I know nothing about it.
Okay, so me neither. I got nothing.
It was, I kind of liked the cover, kind of felt 80s to me. It kind of felt 80s trying to be 30s.
Yeah.
Remember in the 80s when they had that callback to like the earlier covers
retro,
from the 30s and 40s?
Like the pulps, like the old pulp.
So the colors from the 80s, but the pulpy kind of look from the... So I kind of said, hey, I'll throw a chance at this. And I got every cover because they all kind of are similar. What's the next cover? This is kind of not as much that, more 80s than the...
More Ray Punk. Right. Kind of like style.
Right. And then the last one is a Jen Bartel, which is, you know, just her. Kind of like, this is maybe not an earlier version, but her version of what they were trying to go for.
I like they have the roles reversed and you have the guy grabbing the girl's leg.
Yeah,
so that's kind of cool.
It is. Very cool.
Like she's the hero and he's like, oh, rescue me.
All right, what's next after Killer Queen? Is Rangers of the Divide. I've got one so I bring this in for the one customer. Nobody's been asking for it, so I just bring the one in for that person. So if you're enjoying this book, great. I don't know much about it, but it's the last one in the group. This is issue 2. I brought in issue 1, which comes out this week. Again, please, companies, try to give us that week. You push books back all the time. Just make the second issue 1 week after, so I can judge my data for the for issue 1 of how much all right, that's my rant on that. But like, I can't say anything about it because I don't know. Marvel Origins. I get all the Marvel action books from IDW. They're good quality. IDW's licensed stuff I dig. I think they do a really good job.
Are they more young readers orientated?
Yeah, they're all for the young readers.
Style of the artwork kind of lends itself to that, which is cool. I mean, that's great. They should.
Hey, we need young reader stuff. Please make it. I want to. If I have it long enough, and I'll give it away. Right? Like, I'll give it to a younger kid. I'm not giving away books to like a 40-year-old guy unless he's been a really good customer for a long time. He might get a gimme, but. Some guy shows up, he's like, hey, what's comics about? No, you're not getting a free book. You should have found out about comics and you already know how to read. So, but yeah, so that's the Marvel Origins. They also have a Venom cover, which I didn't put up for that, but if it's not a ratio up, I think the Venom cover might be a 1 in 10, so that's why I didn't show it. But they have a Venom cover, which is pretty cool. It's basically looks exactly like this, but it's Venom, instead of Hulk. Yeah, it didn't show.
No, Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's just showing the earlier ones.
Yeah, it's always good to try to cultivate young readers.
Absolutely.
And Star Wars. Yeah, their Star Wars stuff has been just as
their
good
Star Wars Adventures actually has been better. I think it's been better, especially their High Republic. Their High Republic.
I haven't read High Republic. I should probably start reading.
A lot of new characters, man. Yeah. A lot. They are like just almost every other issue, a new character shows up. But this is Francisco Francavilla. Yeah. Francavilla. I butcher his name all the time, but let me grab something real quick.
His style, the style reminds me of Alan Williamson, who did a lot of the original Star Wars adaptations, Empire Strikes Back,
Yes.
and stuff like that. It's kind of reminiscent of that, which is cool. I mean, maybe that's why they chose the guy like on purpose.
So the first
Kinda
book
retro.
he worked on, I believe, was Black Coat. This was 2005. I went to the Wizard World convention, and he was there with the guy who wrote Black Coat, which a book I actually really loved. And he did this full sketch for me for nothing because I bought the preview that they had there, the preview issue. So there's the guy, the Black Coat from him, 2005. It's just like he's a really good. If you look at he does a lot of Universal monsters. Like he redoes their posters.
Oh yeah.
Like if you follow him on Instagram,
I'll have to check him out.
go follow. How do you say his last name again? Francavilla. Francisco Francavilla on Instagram, because you'll really enjoy it. Especially if you love Universal monsters, he's always doing homages, posters, birthdays and deaths. You see, like he'll put. It's incredible. He does these beautiful artworks when a celebrity dies. He does these really homages to them, and they're wonderful. And yeah, I can't say enough about his work. I love it. They also, I think there's a big cover to this, but it's not as good as this. So I don't think I'm getting it, or I might be. I'm not sure. This is the High Republic. I'll be getting this in. And the B cover to this, I'm pretty sure I'm getting also, just because there's a lot of new characters that show up and a lot of firsts. If I didn't, I didn't. But there's the A cover. Definitely going to have it if you're looking for it. I still have, I think, 15 number ones that I'm holding.
So is it worth reading? Because maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I'll take one of the 15 off your hand.
You can take one of the 15 off.
And I'll pay for it. You don't have to give it to me for free because I'm over 7 years old.
You're over 7. No free
I know
books.
how to read. Damn it. Can't even get a free book.
What do we... And this is Tablio, another guy. I'm probably butchering his name. Talibo? But he does a lot of work, and this is not one of my favorite covers from him. But he did do the cover for this. He does some amazing covers. I think this is just the colors. He may have not colored it. I think just like it's too dark. So he's a very detailed artist. So I think a lot of the details are lost in how dark the coloring was done. But what do we got next? Now we're on to Marvel. Black Cat. All of a sudden, I started getting a lot more subscribers to Black Cat.
Really?
She's stealing or putting together, assembling all the
Cat House?
Affinity Stones.
Infinity Stones?
Yeah,
really?
so this is called the Infinity Score. Well, the Infinity Stones aren't stones anymore, they're people.
Okay.
So Star, who came out end of last year, I think. Yeah, end of last year. She appeared in Captain Marvel. She has one of the Infinity Stones in her. I haven't really been following it. I'm a bad comic book owner.
Yeah, I'm not too up on all the superhero stuff, so couldn't tell you. I always thought she was a discount Catwoman, but that's just me.
Well, she is. But listen.
But who has the bigger boobs?
Yeah, Marvel's marketing, their storytelling and their art has not been anywhere near DC's, but their marketing department is so much better than DC's.
You've got Disney behind you, so.
This storyline to me is kind of corny, and I don't know. Let's see. It might play out great, but so far it's kind of been a dud. I mean, they gave Star her own series that lasted 4 issues. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be an ongoing. I don't know. But so that's Black Cat. She's collecting all the people. Gamma Flight. This is all the people that are attached to. Is like they put together that aren't Hulk.
Oh.
that are Hulk adjacent.
Oh, okay. The Hulk family. Yeah.
Sort of like the Batman family, but it's Gamma Flight.
Okay.
Gamma Flight used to be a thing with Alpha Flight because they're all named after the Greek alphabet.
Really?
Yeah, there was an Omega Flight and a Beta Flight. And
I say I didn't even know that. I read the original Alpha Flight. I haven't read it.
I was a big fan of
the original.
I subscribed to that. I had every issue.
I haven't read it in a long time. I don't know what's going on with Omega, Gamma, Delta, and all the other flights. Right. I don't know. For me, a flight's like 4 beers that you drink. But
yes.
Yes, I have an alcohol problem.
It's only a problem if you admit it.
Yeah. It's only a problem if you spill it.
So yeah, I mean, I have a couple of people that are subscribed to this. Nobody has complained, so maybe it's pretty good. I don't know. I haven't got a chance to read it yet. I loved this cover, so I added this
that's
cover.
A great cover.
Yeah.
Carlos Pacheco.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. I just buy it and put it on the shelf. I don't have any subscribers, but they seem to sell every week. These are not ones that go into the back bin and get pulled.
Uh-huh.
These are ones that like people come in and they go, oh, I have room for, I can afford another $4. What do we got left on the thing? But see, it says Last Annihilation, so they're bringing it back. The Annihilation, which was one of your favorites.
Which I thought was probably one of the best crossovers Marvel ever did, but that's just me. But then again, you
which
know...
they really mined recently.
Well, that's the problem. It was like they do one thing good, and it was like, yeah, that's great. It was like, so we're going to have 12 other Annihilations after, they were just like the Infinity Stones. It was like, really? I mean, how many times has Thanos had the Infinity Stones? Or somebody got the Infinity Stones, and then they did the movie. It's like, let's come up with a new idea. House of Ideas. Let's live up to that,
Well, now we have Kang. Now it's any ideas. You can have any idea.
Yes, time travel doesn't matter. We can go back to all sorts of epochs.
Now, I would like to remind all Marvel fanboys who made fun of DC's multiverse forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Now you are stuck in it, brother. So basically, the House of Ideas are just DC's ideas redone with better marketing.
Yeah, well, and in some cases, okay.
So Deadpool, we were talking about Deadpool earlier.
Yeah.
Deadpool is basically Deathstroke, originally. Quiet, deadly. Then they're like, hey, that really didn't play out.
Yeah, he was generic and boring.
Right, we bring Joe Kennedy on. What can you do to bring this character back? Well, we're going to make him funny and break the fourth wall. Yeah. Like a bunch of different DC characters. Lobo, it's kind of a ripoff of Wolverine. DC ripping off Marvel, but also Ambush Bug. Ambush Bug was a big fourth wall breaker. And
Ambush Bug.
Yeah, I remember he's a big comedy relief character over in DC that kind of had that unkillable kind of...
that's like what I always say about like with ongoing comics, because it's going on and on and on. How do you come up with a completely 100% original idea?
What is it? Is it 7 stories or 12 stories? There's only, is it 12 stories retold?
I don't know.
Something like that. Shakespeare, look it up.
Read a book.
I can't remember. I'm too old. I can't remember.
We have the Baby Groot cover.
That's right. Oh man, yeah, I had to get that. Come on. Somebody's gonna want that.
The Mandalorian's on hiatus right now, so you have to get your cute fix somewhere.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if, like, when they were trying to come up with a name for the, if that was on their mind.
For the Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Groot was on their mind, and they were like, "Hey, we need something like the Baby Groot."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Guru." What it's
Grogu, right?
Grogu.
I always thought that sounded like it was like its Star Wars brand of like super glue. Hey, try Grogu. That's what Han Solo uses Grogu to paste together the Millennium Falcon after a hard smuggling run.
I think.
I love the show, but I don't. The name, I was like, really? That's what they came up with?
I think when they saw that they had the idea of that whole father-son kind of relationship thing, a story they wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And they saw that. Yeah, and they saw that this, like, Groot sold so well, Baby Groot sold so well. They were like,
it has to have a G in it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that when they were trying to come up with a name, it might have been stuck in their head. Every
yeah,
time they tried to say something, it kept coming out Groot.
Yeah.
So then they were stuck in that neighborhood.
It's possible.
Listen, creatives, it's tough. It's tough to come up with something original.
Yeah.
You know, especially original that sounds alien, right? Because you can't call him George.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
Well, it would technically be alien for the Star Wars universe.
It might be alien for the Star Wars universe. That's right.
Cool. That'd be great. I am the Dark Lord of the Sith. You may call me George. Okay. Doesn't exactly strike terror or wonder into your heart, but you never know.
Listen, I think they could make so much money coming to Earth with Star Wars. Pick a time period that they visit Earth, and then they can bring in Earth.
Wouldn't that be like jumping the shark, kind of though? Luke
Haven't they
Skywalker
already?
comes to Earth. Well,
Not Luke Skywalker. No. I'm talking about a
in-
different time period.
Oh,
Totally different time period that hasn't been touched yet.
maybe.
Maybe in between because they went the High Republic is way early, right? It's hundreds of years.
I haven't read that. No.
Yeah, I believe the High Republic is hundreds of years before.
I just thought that was a weird name
Uh,
change too, for obvious reasons, or at least for me.
Right.
High
So-
Republic. It's a bunch of stone Jedi. Yeah. Just flew in from Middletown.
Boy, are my arms tired. What do we got next? We're only up to G in Marvel, and I'm burning the Iron Man.
Time to focus. He's Iron Man.
Yeah, and is that Stilt Man? All right, next.
Yes. We won't even touch Stilt Man.
Next. I'm bringing it in because
It's Iron Man.
It's Iron Man. It's an
yeah.
ongoing. I have to carry it, but come on.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a
We're gonna make
one-issue
Stilt
story.
Man cool again.
Here we go.
It's
Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror with 50 covers.
50
And I
covers.
probably am getting like 9 of them. I really dig this cover.
I mean, he's a cool character.
Yeah.
I do like Kang. He's one
Well,
of
he's a cool character now.
Well,
He's kind of silly for a while, but yeah,
you got to get past the pinkish costume, you know.
yeah.
Him and Barrett Zemo don't exactly strike terror in your heart.
I got this cover because it's Kang fighting Ram Tut on the cover, but I'm not a fan of the art. Just not a fan of that.
It's more like animation style.
Yeah. So it's one of the Stormbreakers. I love this cover. Yeah, the Kang is really large and in charge in the back, and then they got two sides fighting. Kang in the chair, and like all the Avengers are dead beneath him. Very cool.
Yeah, that's a very cool one. Now that's like a cover. You look at that, it's like Kang and Dead Avengers. It's like, get your attention.
Yep.
I haven't read Avengers in a while. I might even pick it up.
This one-
I like Kang.
this
I
one
was
I
like, even
got-
the cheesy version.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I was always a fan of it because it was a good story. Look, they did a couple
Yes,
long story arcs with the Avengers. Like when they brought him in, it wasn't a one and done. Like some guys that they bring in, they're like, "Oh, what are we doing this month? I don't know. Who can we beat up?"
Still, man.
Comics are very much professional wrestling, in literature.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's
yeah.
like
fight comics. How do you
So-
solve a problem?
so. This is
Punch
Marvel.
a guy
But
through a building.
really quickly, just talk about DC. Red X. They're trying to bring Red X up and make him like really big, and so they had him like beat an entire group up that was trying to stop him. Like they had him captured, and he broke out of being captured and like beat everybody up. And in wrestling, I forget what they call it. There's a term for that in wrestling when they're trying to move a guy up the ranks. If you're in the chat and you're a big wrestling fan, you know what that term is. It's not when they turn heel. That's one thing.
That's when they go bad.
It's when they give like first you get to beat you beat every schlub coming up. Like the Brooklyn Brawler was a guy that like he'd be when you were new to the WWE or the WWF back in the day, you fought the Brooklyn Brawler and pinned him in 30 seconds, right? And then
Yeah.
it's a push. That's what they call
what
it
it is,
wrestling.
huh?
Yeah, a push. So like they're really pushing Red X, so they had him beating up a lot of people. And that's the kind of thing they do in comics. They'll like if they want to bring a guy up, like all of a sudden he starts kicking everybody's ass. It's like what they did they brought Moon Knight.
Oh yeah.
They want a lot of interest in Moon Knight. They bring him to the Avengers. They make him all powerful, kicks all the Avengers' ass. Now there's interest in Moon Knight. And not only because he's having a television show, because now, like he's more of a prominent figure. But
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with him.
this cover I'm not a huge fan of either, but I just think the art's not great. The proportions. I love this cover. Another Kang, large and in charge. And believe it or not, a Peach Momoko cover Emmett likes. I like this cover.
Yeah, I like her style.
I don't like all the stuff she does. Some of it looks so rushed. It just looks like, hey, I didn't have time. Here you go. I'm mailing it in. But this has got, you know, all four of the time guys from the show. Not Time Lords.
It's Doctor Who.
Well, everybody watching knows. Emmett's too old to remember. But one of them, of course, is the statue that was broken, which I believe is right there, is the Kang in front. But yeah, kind of cool. And then this one was is a really well executed cover.
Yeah,
I like it.
Really well done. The coloring too, digital coloring.
And
It's
you know,
to
I'm not
Scotty
a huge
Young, yeah.
I'm not a huge Scotty Young fan, but people buy him. He has a big following, and who am I to judge people on what they like?
It's where, you know, it's like Invader's In.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah.
The style he draws Kang in.
It's kind of chibi. It's kind of
yeah.
I don't know why. I think Marvin the Martian's doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that too. Screw the Avengers.
You do a great Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got after
I'm filled
Kang?
with useless talents.
So that's all. That's all of them. Then the Marauders. Ongoing series for Marvel. I'm carrying it. I don't have a lot of subscribers for it, so, and I'm not reading it. So, Miles, I think I get 10. Like I sell, I think at least 6 or 7 Miles every month. So I get 10, and those usually don't even last. So, Miles, very popular character. They've already slated his second cartoon, and at some point he's going to go live action.
Oh, they are going to introduce him live action.
And if anybody's interested in his first appearance, we are selling one on Hip Comic. You can go there and buy on Hip Comic, search Haven for Heroes, or just Haven, and when you search, our store will come up. Hip Comic is a website for selling your comics. Mostly comic shops are selling on there. It's a good place to look. The prices are not, there are some auctions that start out at 99 cents. I'm not that kind of shop, but there are a lot of stuff on there. It's a good website to check out. Hip Comic is the website. There it is.
There you go. First appearance of Deadpool there.
Yeah, I also have first appearance of Deadpool if you have $1,000, or first appearance of Miles Morales for $950. The reason the Deadpool is so high is because that's it is a mint newsstand issue. You also can see we have Sabretooth's first appearance, and
Well, that was
first
an Iron
appearance
Fist,
of
huh? I didn't know that.
and the first appearance of Carnage. Yeah, we got some big books up there. So yeah, back to this Moon Knight.
All right.
New series of Moon Knight. This is number 2. Number 1 came out. So this book must have been pushed because number 1 came out last week.
Yeah, last week. We just read it, actually.
I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Some of the pacing, I was with you. Some of the pacing at points was a little,
and some of the dialogue was a little clunky, but
enough for me to say I'm on board. I want
the general idea is kind of cool.
I love
He's
how
like the guardian of people who travel at night, and it seems like they're going to give him more of a supernatural bat as opposed to being like a straight up costume superhero.
Well, what a great way to start the book out, right? Action, first 3 pages.
Well, yeah,
action.
Yeah, it gets you.
Then we're going to get into the whole psychological thing. I keep saying it's very Sopranos. He's got a psychologist now.
Yeah, it's definitely with that they've combined a few different things like that. But
I don't know if that's her first appearance, but there's also a first appearance in the back of another person, a doctor who's another follower of his
Khonshu.
god.
Yeah,
Khonshu's
Khonshu,
god.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's I think there's two first appearances in there. Probably the other follower, he's, it's, spoiler alert, you don't want to hear if you haven't read the book, pause, something, mute, I'm about to tell you.
Stick your fingers in your ears.
He's the, he's not the Moon Knight, he's the Night Hunter, or Hunter's Moon.
Yeah,
Hunter's Moon.
I guess he's the guy that's supposed to make sure the fist is doing his job. More or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also has a mask, but it's in black instead of white.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And
it's good first issue.
New character.
I mean, yeah, and they're trying to. What I'd be interested to see is this the basis for the TV show? Are they going to try to do like a totally fresh thing? Or
they say it's Matt Fraction's Mr. Knight, which this is a continuation of him.
Warren Ellis, Mr. Knight, or
no, Fraction
did Moon Knight? I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I believe.
I know the Mr.
I know
Knight
Ellis
thing,
did first. He did it first,
Yeah,
but I think like 2 years later they brought it back, and it was Fraction writing it.
Okay. Yeah, so I missed out on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the series. I'm definitely interested in. I'm glad they're not going superhero route with him because I don't think he really fits in with the Marvel superheroes. I think giving him more of the supernatural realm, and I think you can really mine all the weirdness that's inherent in the character.
Yeah.
I think more with that. Like they had vampires
and
in it
vampires.
too, like
we were talking about that. Vampires coming in, man.
You know, with the Morbius movie coming out, what's coming out next year or the year after? So they're
the
probably
one that's already been done that should have been out 2 years ago. Yeah,
they're going to be mining the supernatural, I think, for more stuff. We'll probably see them bringing back Blade in a different iteration.
And some version of the Midnight Suns might show up at some point.
Yeah, which would.
There's
be cool.
a lot of iterations. I mean, there's the one that everybody knows. That's like the real. It's like some of the books are pretty hot right now, but
yeah,
there's a couple of different iterations. I would be looking for ones that were more diverse than the original one. Just saying, if you see the way most of the stuff's been going.
But it's definitely. I mean, so I'm a fan of the character, and I was pleased with the first issue. So I definitely I didn't read the first one and go, oh no, they just screwed it up.
Yeah.
It was like okay, they're trying to do something a little different with the character. That you got me interested. The cover, this cover's awesome because you kind of get the madness.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a really important part of the fact that his character being multiple personality disorder and. I like it is
a very nice cover.
The thing what they were doing with the Avengers is they made Khonshu real, and my thing I always liked where you never knew if he was really the Avatar and he was talking to him or if he was just crazy and he was just seeing things.
Right.
Now they kind of no, he's real.
Yeah, Ed was saying. Ed in the comments was saying that it's a really nice cover. Yeah, we agree 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
And so was the first issue. That they have a Delato on number 1. They had a Delato B cover. It's really great.
They did quite a few.
And the guy who did the cover, the A cover, is fantastic. So I think this has a B cover. And it's a Momoko.
Yeah, there you go. Where's Peach? Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like the Peach one?
I hate portraits. I hate portraits. Who puts a portrait on a cover? Stop.
I like her style. I like it. It's not exactly.
Look
I don't
how
know.
thin he is.
Well, all I can say.
I'm kicking that guy's ass.
If I had to choose between this and the other cover hands down. Okay, that one's a little too cleaned up. Like this one. That one, the first one captures the madness of Moon Knight, the nuts.
Yes,
the second one,
this is a memoriam tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, she is a tattoo artist, so it's sort of like, oh, Moon Knight died, and I want to.
Sure, I want to
put a memorial
on my arm. Yeah,
and that's what that is. Like orchids around him.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
What's up? Nah, there we go. There's a cover, man. Woo! That downward shot.
Now, did Sienkiewicz do any of the first ones or second ones? It was how do you watch Moon Knight without him doing something?
I think he had like a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100, man.
That's what I figured.
It's way out.
Yeah.
Way out of my numbers.
You will never see.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make it into a poster.
Yeah. You know, if you jump on sometimes those 1 in 50s right away, you can get them for like half ratio for like 25 if you pre-order. If from one of the big shops who's already buying 500 issues, so they're getting, You know,
I
they're
don't like
getting
the
a
book
ton of
enough
them.
to buy 25 of it.
Right. Well, no, they don't make you buy 25. They'll sell it to you for $25.
Oh, the
of
cover.
50.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Even still, if it was a
But-
poster, maybe I'd think about it, but not the
Yep.
comic itself.
So I don't know who the cover artist on this one is. It has a Delato feel, but I don't think it's Delato. NetEase.
It is a very cool cover.
Yeah, nice painted cover. Gotta love it. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I'm not, but it's a really
Might be
really
a
well
somebody new, or somebody who's changing their
style.
like they just have a one-word name. Like Archer used to be Stanley Lau. If you're looking for his earlier stuff, like people who search out certain stuff, if you're looking for his earlier stuff, it's going to be signed Stanley Lau. So I don't know who this. I'll have to do some research to see who that is because that's some really good work.
Yeah, looking forward to number 2 though.
Yep.
That's definitely.
Sinister War. This surprisingly has had a good readership. You know, it's basically brings in the Chameleon, who I guess because that has interest because this is the Sinister Six. Of course, everybody's expecting it's going to be in the new movie, but also has I think a piece of the Chameleon is in it, and that he's going to be in Kraven the Hunter. So, because in the comics he's half brother of Kraven.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I guess that's came out sometime when we weren't.
It's interesting they're doing a movie about Kraven.
Yeah, well,
Are
because
they
it's
gonna
the
have
ownership.
Are they gonna have Spider-Man in it though? That's the thing. It was like kind of
No.
it's kind of like a Spider-Man.
It's going to be a Sony movie,
Oh,
'cause
that's
Sony owns it.
Oh, okay.
right? They're like,
Yeah.
hey, what can we make that Marvel?
Hasn't used yet.
Right.
Okay. I mean, he's not a bad character, but I don't know if he can carry a movie.
Who we don't want to spoil for Marvel, right? Because their relationship's good. They're like,
Yeah.
and they're probably going to Marvel and going, so what characters do
Yeah.
you not want to use?
Yeah.
And they're, so maybe it'll turn out good. Who knows? Yeah. But Sinister War's been selling well. There's a couple of covers. I think I'm getting a couple of them. The connecting cover I have to get because people bought number 1 and number 2 of the connecting cover. They want number 3, so got that coming in.
Yeah, Mark Bagley too.
Yeah, it's a Bagley cover. Come on, good stuff.
Guy's a great superhero artist.
Then
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman, great cover. That's about all I can say about this book. I don't think there's too much going on right now.
Yeah, I haven't read it. When they had her, what was she, Agent of Sword or something? Bendis did it, and then they made that with Alex Maleev doing the artwork. That was really good.
That was
but
really good.
That's quite a while ago.
Listen, Ben, like people just need to just collect Bendis and shut up. Just buy Bendis. He makes
You
the
either like
stuff-
him or you hate him. It's
Right.
kind of like the way it seems to be.
But if you're a speculator, you better buy him because his stuff is.
Yeah, they mine his stuff. For
They
a
mine his
lot
stuff, and
of
it's
years.
all relatable and easy to move into the television realm or even movies. So, Star Wars, the bounty part of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, continuing.
This is number 16. This has been a great series. Like we've had a lot of people jump on for this Bounty Hunter War of the Bounty Hunters.
We've said it before too. Marvel's been doing a great job with the Star Wars thing. This, this is taking place around the Empire. After Empire Strikes Back, like they're all trying to get Han Solo, basically. So it's kind of cool. They're filling in spaces in between the movies, and the stories have been really strong.
It is the only thing that Charles Slay writes that I can read. Like his other books, I'm not a huge fan.
I haven't read anything he did except he did a run on Darth Vader. I thought that was really
It
good.
was Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I was like, I haven't read anything.
From what I hear, he's a huge Star Wars nerd, right? So like he knows the world so intimately, like it's like second nature to him. I could be wrong. I could have heard wrong, but that's what I've heard. And if it's not true, he's still writing awesome Star Wars books.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the other stuff he's done. So, but
Buy his Star Wars stuff.
buy his Star Wars stuff. And then this is another cover. Look at that, Boba Fett and Darth Vader mirrored. Awesome. And this is the
cover.
So this is the
cover.
actual Star Wars War of Bounty Hunter 3 of 5. This is the 5-issue series that the tie-ins from all the other books is.
Yeah.
That's what the other cover was. This is the cover. There's people that collect these action figures covers. I wouldn't really get this character in, except for I have people that want every single action figure one. So they look good on the wall. I bet. I bet if you had every single one, because I think they have one for every Star Wars.
They've been putting out a lot of them.
A lot of them. So it would make a very impressive wall at your house. So. And then this is the wanted poster one, which I really think is good too. This is Boba Fett, and the other one was Han Solo on the Star Wars book. So.
Yeah, very cool series.
The Marvels. This is a quiet, book that people have been enjoying. I don't get a lot in. I don't have a lot of subscribers for it, but everybody said they're really good, solid books.
Yeah, I haven't read them. Not since the original.
Right, not since the original one. But the art has been amazing in it, too. More Alex Ross, Way of X, not a fan. I tried to read it. And who's not a fan of Nightcrawler, but I don't think he carries his own book. I like the character, but...
They lost me on the relaunch.
Yeah.
It was like the concept was
started out really good.
Yeah, and then they just kind of...
Hickman's part was great.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of...
After that, they kind of lost focus, seemed like, yeah.
All right. That's Way of X, then Warhammer.
Ah. See, now this, I am actually a fan of Warhammer. I've never played the game, but I love the books, the novels, the comics, the universe. It's their dystopian future where there's only war, It's great, good stuff,
if I could only live there.
We'd both be dead. We'd get killed. But yeah, right. Sisters of Battle. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it. I've read the other books Marvel's done for Warhammer.
Right.
They've been very solid. If you're familiar with the story, if you're not, it's always most of them are self-contained, so you don't really have to know too much outside of the books and the separate characters.
Right.
It's very cool concept, I think, for the universe. I mean, it started off as a tabletop game, little miniatures.
Yep.
And they've just expanded it into novels, video games, and everything else. And now Marvel's got the license, and from what I've read so far, they've been doing really good. So if you like Warhammer, it's definitely 40,000. It's definitely worth picking up.
Right. X Corp, yeah. That's all there is to say about that. They're sticking with it though. This looks good. X-Men Trial of Magneto. I didn't go heavy on it, but I did. Nobody subscribed to it, and nobody pre-ordered it. But I bought enough issues for people who go, "Oh, Magneto's going to be coming when the X-Men come." So,
yeah, well, yeah, that's probably a given.
Recently, been seeing all of his origin stories popping off and been selling. I've been putting up I have a couple of the origin runs of not the early stuff, but the later reprints or retellings. Has been selling really well, so I wanted to bring it in.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what they do. I mean,
look at that art cover.
That's great. I've always I always liked the Scarlet Witch. I don't know why.
I have no idea why.
I don't know either. Maybe it's a costume. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just actually finally caught up with WandaVision. I thought it was a really good series.
It's
interesting that they killed her off.
Yeah.
So now she's dead. Okay, so I'm sure. Well, it is comics, so she'll probably be back.
In comics, they killed her off.
Yeah.
What's next?
No, not in the TV show.
Not in
no spoilers.
TV show. No. And I had to get this cover.
That's what the Trial of Magneto is bad. Here.
Yeah.
She does live in the TV show. She doesn't die at the end.
That's a spoiler too.
Well, she might. I'll just shut up now.
So the Trial of Magneto, this cover has been done. Okay, it's a famous, and I do not, because I'm not artsy fartsy guy. It is a famous painting. Is that what it's called, the Pieta?
All right, somebody has fine art education.
Yes, but it is
not us.
But it is. It has been used in comics several times.
Yeah.
Black Bolt was holding
Medusa,
I think, and then
yeah, it's definitely been used a few times.
I think Cyclops. He's not seated, but he's carrying twice he's carrying somebody in the same kind of.
It's Jean Grey. She just dies and
Yeah,
comes back all
she
the
keeps
time.
dying all the time.
He's getting
But-
tired of carrying her around. She's like, yeah, she'll be back. She's the Phoenix. That's what she does.
But I like this cover, so I had to bring it in. So
Yeah, no, it's a great cover.
so on to Boom. Fan of Boom. Here there's Firefly. This is the brand new universe. Everybody keeps talking that this is going to get rebooted. We'll see.
Oh, because they might make a new series with new characters.
Yes.
And that kind of
Yeah.
I mean, I was a fan of the original series. I haven't really followed the comics much.
The comics were just kind of filling in a lot of the spaces that, like, the television show, if it went on, would have done.
Yeah.
But this is a brand new universe. And pretty cool. So far, it's been all right. But all new characters, so if they do come up with a show and they do this, they may not use all the characters, but if they use one of them,
Yeah, it could go up in value.
the book is going to
for
go
it,
up for sure. But it's been a good story too. If you're a fan, if you're a brown coat, this is one of the books we still haven't come up with a name for.
Oh,
We're going to call them property books.
they already have a built-in fan base or something
Yes,
like that. Yeah.
they come from another
We'll try
IP.
to coin the term, yeah.
Yeah, we'll call them property books. That's what we're going to call them from now on. That's it. I'm coining the phrase, property book. So this is not actually, this is from the Firefly universe, which is a property outside of comics. Actually created by a comic book writer who's now a little bit in the canceled zone. So this is what may be holding this up.
Yeah, that could be. He's getting a lot of flack.
He's getting a lot of flack. And from what I hear, like, maybe well-deserved, but,
Yeah. Well,
you know,
can you separate the art from the artist? That's the
exactly.
That's the question.
There's the thing, is that, you know, Van Gogh cut off his ear and sent it to him, and I think that would get you canceled nowadays. He sent me his ear.
Well, yeah, but look, if you had the ear now, it'd be priceless.
It would be priceless.
It would also be rotting and probably smell pretty bad. But
Well, it'd be petrified. Maybe not
Petrified,
anymore,
yeah.
but if there was anything left of it, it's kind of just cartilage and skin, so I don't know if it would rot completely away. But.
I love how we went to Firefly to Van Gogh's ear.
But, so, yeah, this has actually been a good series, though. If you're a brown coat and you're into that property, this property book you're going to love. So you should pick it up. Power Rangers, another property book.
There you go.
Boom has done a great job with the Power Rangers. They run 2 books, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, and they've done really well creating stories, new characters. They've the license has allowed them to create new characters, which is super important in the comic book world. I mean, you have to have that constant change and movement to just keep the story exciting.
Well, boom.
I love the second the B cover, and this is not really usually the art styles I like. Maybe it's the cat I'm loving more than anything else on this cover, but
It's kind of reminiscent of the old anime.
yeah.
Not so much Power, because Power Rangers was never an anime. It was live action, but like
Right.
Voltron and that kind of stuff
Yeah.
where
was Battle of the
Power
Planet-
Rangers sprang out of.
Battle of the
It's-
Planets
it's-
was like that, and Star
yeah.
Blazers were the 2 that were
Yeah.
for me.
Those were for people our age, back in the Stone Age. That was kind of our as American comic fans, was like your first exposure to Japanese anime. It was like Star Blazers and Battle of the Planets.
Was Battle of the Planets called G-Force for a while? At
No,
some point?
well, the Japanese one is called Gotcha Man, or
Right.
Science Ninja Team Gotcha
I don't know
Man.
why I
'cause
remember
the
it as
Japanese have the very long time.
G-Force
Well, they were called G-Force, like that was the name of the American version. Anyway.
right?
Because
right.
the American version is different than the Japanese one. Because basically, what they did with the American ones is they bought the rights to the shows. No one spoke Japanese, so they just had a bunch of writers around watch the show and just figure out, okay, this is what it's going to be about, and this is what they're going to say. And they took away a lot of the more violent elements of people getting killed by the giant monsters and
Right.
shit like that, and made it a little more kid friendly. Like the Japanese ones are less kid friendly and a hell of a lot more violent. People die, cities get destroyed,
Nice.
that kind of thing. Yeah, good old campy destruction. Wonderful.
What do we got next? We got this. Okay, so this is another one I have to do tonight before I forget. So this is what they call the FOC reveal. It's like you can only get this one. This is not Peach Momoko, but obviously kind of stylized, probably a little bit more detailed,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
in that style.
Yeah, definitely.
Park is the last name to this artist. I don't love it, but I don't hate it, and I'm sure one of my customers is going to want it. So there's that. Beyond Breach, an Aftershock book. It's the only one out this week. I got number 1. It didn't do terrible. We'll see.
Yeah, Ed Bryson actually worked with a friend of mine on a book called Kill All Monsters.
Oh, cool.
It's actually a good book, and it's in trade, and you can look it up. It's called Kill All Monsters. Art's by Jason Copland, a friend of mine from Canada. Great book. Amazing artwork, too.
Does Jason have is he on Instagram?
I don't know. I'm not on Instagram. I don't know. This social media stuff. I don't really. Do too
listen,
much
I
with.
agree with you, but I have to be honest.
Well, no,
Business-wise,
that's
it's
good.
gotta be. But
I do too, but I'm on it as little as humanly possible. Because I don't like people. So. That's why.
That's what happens when you get old.
Now,
get off my lawn.
If they had like a platform for people like me, it would be called anti-social media, and no one would go on it or do anything, and it would be useless. So, I got nothing.
What do we have beyond the breach? Are we on to DC Action Comics? Well, I have to get Action Comics.
It's Superman.
I haven't.
People like Superman.
But the art has not only is the covers comparable for DC to Marvel, the interiors are so much better than most of the Marvel books.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. And I'm not big. I don't read a lot of the superhero stuff, but just flipping through them, it was like DC's kind of really got a good roster of artists.
They have an unbelievable roster of artists and a great roster of writers. Philip Kennedy Johnson's really good writer, and he's going to be writing, I think, Venom.
Oh, really?
He's writing a book for Marvel. DC is like, nobody has exclusive contracts anymore, and you can write for whoever. It's crazy.
Oh, there you go.
There's Jason.
Jason. Yep.
So
he's done He's done some work for Dark Horse. That's actually an original graphic novel he's working on called Full Tilt.
Yep.
Which check him out on Facebook and
that
Instagram.
has a very Sin City feel.
Oh yeah,
it's an homage kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, definitely. He's very influenced by like Frank Miller, Sienkiewicz, those kind of guys. But a solid artist. He's done some good stuff. Like I said, there's Jason. Just definitely check out Kill All Monsters. And he's done some other books for. He's actually done a Daredevil or two for Marvel with Mark Waid. So he's done some stuff, but definitely worth checking out. And Ed Bryson, who was the last book we were looking at, he was the writer on it. That's why.
Awesome.
That's why we brought it up.
So what do we got after Action Comics? DC will get through pretty quickly. They don't put out a lot of books anymore. This is the B cover. I get one of those just because they're usually amazing. The composition of that is fantastic. This is an amazing A cover. Aquaman, it's an ongoing DC. I'll be bringing it in. Now this is the deluxe.
It's like a collection.
Yeah, we won't be getting the hardcover deluxe in. Now that I read it. This is the one-shot spectacular for the 80th anniversary. I'm probably bringing in 2 of these because they're $10. Thanks a lot, DC. Can't do them in a 3-issue miniseries. I love this cover.
They're really pushing Aquaman now. What, they got
no,
movie
this is
coming
the
out, or?
every character gets an 80th anniversary. For
okay.
DC. Joker had one, Batman had one, Catwoman had one, Green Lantern's already had his. Wonder Woman's coming out later in the year in September. I have a lot of people waiting on the Wonder Woman. Ed, who's in the chat, is one of them. But yeah, this is the Aquaman. I won't be getting every cover, but I will be. If there's a particular cover you want, you better speak now or forever hold your peace. See, they have a ton of covers for it. Here's Batman No Man Land as a hardcover. Won't be getting this. That was an okay series.
Yeah, they gave you the new Batgirl.
Yeah, I
don't
know if
that was the best thing that came out of that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was truly iconic. Would you say iconic?
I don't know. It's like they were trying for it to be, but a lot of it, the basic premise didn't make sense. Is like all of a sudden, Gotham City is like Escape from New York. You know, like Manhattan and Escape from New York. Oh, they just cut off all ties, and it's like every man for himself.
Now, a lot of people have been telling me they didn't like Batman Reptilian because of Garth Ennis's style of Batman, and I'm like, it's Black Label. It's called Batman Reptilian. It is a Batman story.
It's
Remember
more
the
like
Elseworlds?
Yeah. That's what I took away from that.
Enjoy the storytelling.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, everybody's always worried about, is it in canon? Is it this? Is it that? It was like, just read the story. Is the story good? Okay.
Liam Sharp art.
Yeah.
Garth Ennis writing. If you're not buying this book, you're an idiot. It's going to be great storytelling. It's going to be dark. Yeah. And the art is going to be primo. So, yeah.
Liam Sharp's primarily a horror artist anyway. So.
Yeah.
So it's a self-contained story.
It's a self-contained story, six
issues.
issues. It's a short. They're giving a creative outlet to, like, if you give Garth Ennis, like, he did a long Hitman run, which he was able to. But that actually, he kind of semi-owns Hitman.
He created Hitman's his own creation.
But like, if you gave him like Superman, it really wouldn't be in a Garth Ennis book, right? It would be Garth Ennis with handcuffs.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do the stuff. I don't think they would give him a book like that.
Right.
You know, like Batman, he leans himself. You can do a little more with him and go more darker.
Right.
And like Superman, you really can't go too dark with Superman. You know, he has that kind of.
But when do we love Garth Ennis? We love Garth Ennis when he's handcuffs off, Black Label or independent,
and he's pushing the boundaries.
He's pushing the boundaries.
The boys, preacher, that kind of stuff. Where it's it will, like I said, unchained. Like he can just do whatever he wants and not have to worry about censorship or, like you're.
That's when he's at his absolute best. Whatever he tries to reel it in. It's good, but not my favorite.
As good, yeah.
So, go out and find the rest of those. Get that. This is the B cover by Cully Hammer. Cully Hammer, great artist.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the Liam Sharp just is more towards what this book is about.
Yeah, it's more. You're giving it more that almost Vertigo feel to the cover.
Right.
Whereas the other one, it looks more like.
This is the 1 in 25, very stylized. From Mitch Gerards, I think is how you say it. Love his art. It's a 1 in 25. I won't be getting it. I'm not getting 25 of this. So, maybe if I was in New York City. It's old Pace Picante ad. Little throwback for y'all. Batman Superman 21. It's been tooling along. People are enjoying the storylines. I don't know where we are in the arc on this because I haven't been reading it, but I have several subscribers to it. Just a solid book. It's basically World's Finest.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah.
I guess whatever they did marketing and World's Finest wasn't like, because they tried to bring it back several times and it just didn't.
I guess they figure if you have the character's name on it, it's going to sell more. Because people who might not necessarily know what the hell World's Finest is, Batman versus Superman, that's what World's Finest is. Yeah, Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Together.
The thing is that had they gone more anthology style and started putting other characters together and reinventing some of their other characters, I'd love to see Showcase come back.
Yeah, to showcase her when they were like Brave and the Bold and stuff, where it was kind of like, where it was Batman with
3 stories in it. Yeah. Give us 1 new character and 2 retellings of 2 old characters that they haven't been using. That would be, I'd be all about that. I'd read that every month. But so we have after the Batman Superman, I think they have a B cover to it. I usually get one of the B covers. Yeah, this is the B cover. It's good.
Yeah.
Andrews is a good artist. It's exceptional artwork, actually, but it
Yeah.
doesn't thrill me, right? I mean, it is action going on. Superman's flying, Batman's riding the bat, and Robin's driving, but
Checkmate.
checkmate. This is a 6-issue series. I'm bringing it in just so I'll have the
Yeah,
compilation.
you got Bendis writing it, so that could be good or bad depending on if you like Bendis or not.
But it's going to be
I
good
don't know.
because there's going to be something in it that gets.
They'll
used.
eventually mine it for something because that's what
Something,
they seem to
yep.
do with all his. I think he's a solid writer. You know, like that's it. It was like I don't understand the hate for him. He's just trying to do different stuff.
Right.
Mix it up. You know. Please give him credit for that.
This is the B cover. I love it.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Yeah, and that's Manhunter, right? I'm sure that's Manhunter on the cover.
Looks like.
A lot of
sleeves,
people
I
might
think.
be, pointing their finger at me, right, going, "That's a portrait." Is it? Maybe I'll give you that one, but it's executed really well with the blocking, and there's a lot of interest to it.
That's what makes
So,
it, I think, the blocking
yeah.
of it.
Detective Comics, it's up to 1,042. How do you not bring that book in? I sell 4 or 5 of those a month when they come out. It's always got a B cover. I bring in the B cover. This guy's been doing it probably 2 years. I think I said that last time we were looking at this.
Yeah.
Bormeo.
Yeah,
Really,
he's-
really good
yeah,
stuff. Just a cover artist, and he nails it every time.
Yeah, he really does. That's a really dynamic cover.
Harley Quinn, it's a lot of Harley Quinn fans.
Yeah.
This almost is a property book, right? Because she actually started in the cartoon before she was in
Yeah.
comics.
Yep, yeah.
And her
That's what they brought. She was so popular, they brought her into the comics.
right, and her cartoon on HBO Max is really popular.
Still causing controversy.
Still still. Very, very funny though. Oh man, so good. King Shark is great in it. And, so we were talking about Firefly earlier.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk,
Mm-hmm.
who is
She was the pilot.
the pilot in Firefly, is Clayface, and he is amazing in this. as
Oh, see, I
Clayface.
haven't watched them yet. I
Yeah,
haven't
very
seen it.
funny voice
I
acting.
just heard the whole controversy with the,
Yeah, and
We won't
he's
go
playing.
into that.
He's playing Resident Alien too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the alien in Resident Alien.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
He's a good
he's
actor.
A great
Yeah.
actor, man.
Really good.
I don't think he gets enough work. He does really good voice acting too. I would say really on par with Mark Hamill voice acting.
Yeah.
So, and I digressed. Let's move on. B cover, fantastic. Shoe cover,
Yeah.
it's better than the A cover. So we'll have multiples of those. And this is the Federici Suicide
yeah.
Squad. But it doesn't say it's a 1 in 25, so I'm probably getting this one.
It's another good cover. Reminds me a lot of Simon Bisley.
Yep. Everybody knows how
Kind of
excited
rocky.
I am for these books. The art looks amazing. You know who this artist reminds me of? Teixeira. The cover.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very Teixeira. The way he did that glow, and then they electric off the glows and stuff. And yeah, I really dig the cover. I'm very excited for it. Hopefully they don't let me down. Please don't let me down.
You'll know soon.
Yeah, I'll know soon. Number 1 should be coming out next week. Infinite Frontier. This has been surprisingly a popular book. This is the B cover.
Brian Hitch.
Yep. This is the C cover. Justice League trade paperback for Death Metal. We won't be bringing that in unless somebody orders it.
I actually saw the vinyl. They had the vinyl out.
I
now
ordered
for
that,
this.
and it didn't come in yet.
Yeah. Oh, wait. We got to have it at Rock Fantasy.
How they got the vinyl for it before I did, I have no idea.
Yeah.
That boy at the Rockwood Mall had one too. And they were
You're missing out.
Maybe I didn't get mine. I don't know. the allocations happen. They might be getting them through books,
Yeah, I'm sure he gets it
through a different distributor. Not through Lunar, but through somebody else for books. Because I don't think they have Lunar distributor as their thing. I think that they're probably getting them through books.
Like Penguin or something.
Yeah, Penguin does Marvel, but there's other book companies that distribute for DC, I think. Little Guardians. This is on Scoot, which is the children's version of Scout Comics. Again, I'm always trying to bring in stuff for the youth.
Yeah, it's always good to see when they're doing something.
Yeah, it's a
more
number
for the
one.
audience.
It's a place where kids can start with their own new superheroes that nobody's ever heard of that can be theirs. Like if you're that, if you're that kid that's going to be that, also looking for the indie rock bands that nobody's ever heard of and stuff. If you're that kid, this is like the kind of stuff you're looking for. I was that kid. I bought all independents when I was a kid. Nobody knew the characters that I liked to read. When I was like a teenager, I was reading, John Sable and
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Badger.
Oh,
The hotter stuff. Yeah.
I'd love to see a Badger movie.
Yeah, it'd be good. Get on it, somebody.
And this is Locust. I don't think I'm bringing this in. I didn't have any readers for it. This is issue 4. I kind of dumped it. Mr. Miracle. Yeah, I'm running with this series. It's DC, trying to finish it out. I haven't been that impressed with this. Tom King is the guy you want to do a small series, run Tom King.
Yeah, his run was really well done.
Yeah. There's the B cover. Mullet
Cop.
Yeah, number 1. I think I brought this in just because how silly it was. It reminded me of that guy that Down and Out in
Eastbound and Down.
Yes, Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
So reminiscent of him.
He does kind of look like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mullet and the mustache combination.
Yeah.
Is coming back for some reason.
Everything old is new. There's a B cover. I don't know if I got the B cover or not.
Yeah. Mullet Cop. Okay.
Robin 5, definitely got this coming in just to keep up with the series. I don't really have any. I have one guy that gets everything DC, so he'll be getting it, but other than that, this is the B cover. I don't think I got this.
Who is this from?
It looks like that might be a new character that they're putting on the cover. I didn't get any of these. I don't have anybody that's been collecting the RWBY Ruby. I guess that's Ruby.
Yeah,
Or,
I think it's supposed to be Ruby.
yeah.
Big series.
Yeah. Yeah. I brought in some of this. I'm not excited for it. It's the movie in comic form.
Oh, really? It's the movie?
Yeah,
Huh.
the Superman 78.
Hmm.
There's just a lot of retro fans out there, and somebody will pick it up just because.
Didn't the director and the creator of this movie pass
Died,
away
yeah.
recently?
Yeah, Richard Donner.
Would
Yeah,
that affect
just passed
the
away.
people wanting to get these?
Maybe.
This is the B cover. It's a good artist. I'm not a fan of the cover. Not a fan of this one either. This is I think the trade paperback for the
Yeah.
House of Kent for Superman
Yeah.
Action Comics. That's that arc.
Which, when I saw that, you remember the original the Alan Moore hit series where you had the House of Marvel and it was like all the Shazam family and
Yeah.
it was the House of Al was
Yeah.
Superman. I was like, that kind of sounds like they're
Well,
mining
they
some
put out
old
a book
unused.
called. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They put out a book called House of L.
and that's and people still give Alan Moore give him shit for being disgruntled. It was like they've been stealing ideas from him for freaking years and running on stuff that
Forever.
yeah, it was like of course he doesn't want anything to do
This
with
is
the
the
industry.
new. This is the new Superman book, Son of Kal-El. So it's basically the Superman book is now being taken over by Jonathan Kent. This was always the plan. I know this because my nephew wrote the Future State version of Jonathan Kent's Superman story, and it just was delayed coming out. This is the B cover, which is really weird because he's 27 years old.
Really?
Right. So this cover was probably drawn.
So
back.
So I'm not up on this series. So the son of Kent is obvious. So who does Superman have a kid with? Is it Lois Lane?
Lois Lane.
Oh, it is.
But
Lois
then he
Lane.
went out into space with his grandfather.
Who's grandfather?
His.
Superman's grandfather?
No, Superman's father,
Uh-huh.
Jonathan Kent's grandfather, and they got lost in some kind of time. That's how they aged him up.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I'm still lost, but okay.
and basically, when he was out in space, he got like his ass handed to him, sort of like the Red Hood did.
Oh, okay.
So like he's got all these insecurities and stuff about him. Like they wanted to give him some tragedy in his life instead of being growing up on the farm, like as a just so super well adjusted.
Yeah.
What kind of story is super well adjusted? None of us are well adjusted.
Well,
but anyway,
we're not Superman.
This B cover doesn't make any sense. This probably was drawn 3 years ago, unused for a Super Sons
It's a family
issue
portrait
or Superman family thing that never happened, and they're like, we have to use this. So what's up next? This is the C cover. Don't need a C cover. This is from Scout. This is Tart number 2, I think. Oh no, this is 1. This is Tart. It's a new series of a series that came out before. This is Demons and Demigods. I think I'm bringing it in because it's a number 1. Yeah. Teen Titans Academy 6. Yeah, I'm sticking with this. This has got all young characters in it. Their new introductions can happen anytime, all the time on these Academy books. Strange Academies having new characters all the time. They're seeing what sticks, the characters that sticks, what parts of the chemistry that, people were like, what do you mean chemistry? These are fake characters. You just No, like if a character is not working,
well, yeah,
just like in any other, like in a television series, that character dies off or leaves for something else, or that character becomes so popular it gets their own book, and they move in a new character. So, yeah, this is a team book. You got to find characters that fit in a team. So, you're gonna get lots of new characters. I don't know if that issue is, but we stick with it. Wonder Girl 3. Sticking with this, like they kind of demoted her from Wonder Woman, which she was in Future State, to Wonder Girl.
Oh.
Which I don't know if that was a great choice. I would have come up with a different name for her, but
yeah, well,
she's a popular version of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the younger version.
Yeah. This is a pretty good cover.
Yeah, I like the cover.
Yep. This is regular Wonder Woman. 3 or 4 people subscribe to this. But people jump on and off of this. I don't know why. Wonder Woman just doesn't stick. B cover. Okay. Okay.
Becky Cloonan.
Yep.
Who's actually writing the thing, which I'm only familiar with her art.
That's it.
That's everything. Right.
So, thanks for sticking around for the FOC for so long. Just a couple of things at the end. We are still trying to make a movie. We're working on it. Might have some more drafts going out. We are still looking for actresses. If anybody knows any women 18 to 25 are interested in being in film, they can contact us at either our Facebook page. You'll remember me because I dismembered you. We're having King Spawn. If you noticed in the FOC, it was not on the FOC because it's been pushed because there has been so much outcry for it. Over 250,000 copies, I believe. They've had to push it another week. They've added a 1 in 250 hand-signed, hand-numbered by Todd McFarlane. But we will have Sean Lewis here the week that it comes out. He'll be here on the Wednesday signing. If you're interested in getting one of those books, you can pre-order it. We'd appreciate that because that'll allow us to order the right number of books so that everybody can get one. There are an A cover, and then there's 5 other covers. It is $5.99 for any of the regular covers that are not ratio. I am getting 2 1 in 50s. I'm asking $50 a piece for those. You can also order those. You can order your books with or without an autograph. We're also going to have a choice of 3 colors: silver, gold, and green, as suggested by one of our viewers. We're going to do it in the, we're going to try to get a green as close to Spawn's powers as possible. That gamma green, that neon green. So that was a great suggestion by one of the people in the chat. But yeah, there's a lot of covers, and if they add another cover, I'll also be getting that cover. Donnie Cates has a cover. Regularly a writer, but he drew something, and then it was inked by Todd McFarlane. So yeah, very, very cool. So that's going on. Free Comic Book Day, August 14th. We talked about, I haven't got my books yet, but I also have books from 2020, and I have them from Comic Fest last year. So they will be all available. Whatever I have left will be out. It'll be 1 per customer. You make a purchase, or if you're a subscriber, you'll get 1 of each. We ask that you only take 1 of each. The Slaughter book will be out. The new book from Something's Killing the Children. I have only 50 copies because we do have to purchase all these. So they don't charge us a lot, but they do cost something. So I got 50 of them. You will have to be an adult to get it, but it'll be 1 per customer for the Something's Killing the Children. It's not called that. It's something Slaughterhouse, I believe it's called. House of Slaughter. That's it, sir. Thank you very much. So we're doing that. Coming up, I haven't gotten the date yet, but Dahlia Legrado, I believe is how it's said. She played Francine on The Walking Dead. We are trying to get her in for an autograph session. If you have any suggestions of people, now don't say like Robert Downey Jr. because he's not coming to sign in Port Jervis, New York. But if you know somebody in the New York area, because that's usually people who are willing to come and sign. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. If you have any suggestions, please hit us up. If you know them, send us their information. We're interested in getting all kinds of people to come out and sign and do something interesting for the public. You got anything going on? You gonna be playing out at all?
Nope, no shows going into the studio in weekend of August 14th.
Awesome.
For Rooms of Ruin. Morpheus is on standby right now. We're working through some stuff.
Are they going to re-release your box set? Are they going to put that out again since it's sold out?
No, not the box set, but we're going to re-release everything on vinyl again and on CD, which the Chronicles and stuff has never been released
through your
CD.
own
through Dark Descent.
Dark Descent
Records. Yeah,
so,
they've been our label for the last 7-8 years.
Go check out Dark Descent. I'm sure they have a website. I'm sure they've got a Facebook page. I'm sure they've got a
Dark Descent
Instagram.
Records.
Dark Descent Records. They probably have samples, right?
Yeah, you can listen to stuff. It's mostly underground stuff, death metal, grindcore, a little bit of black metal, more underground kind of stuff like that. But yeah, they're definitely a solid label, independent label too. It's owned by one person. There you go, Dark Descent Records. So when our new album comes out, it will be out through Dark Descent. Got no release date, but we have a shit ton of songs. Something will be coming out in the near future.
When you re-release on vinyl, will it be through Dark Descent also?
Yeah.
Oh, very
probably
cool.
through them. Like I said, we'll re-release the discography on vinyl and then CDs.
Oh, that'll be super cool.
We're looking to do.
Yeah, if you're looking for something else to collect, had you bought their box set, you'd have been sitting on some serious cash. It was expensive. It was 150, right? No, 75?
No, $25
for the entire set.
Yeah, box set.
Now it's like I've seen them up to as high as 400.
Yeah, well, it was a limited run. It was I only think we made like 1,500 of them. You know, but it was you know, also we don't have a huge 20 album discography. We put out 4 albums and you know, like an EP. So it had a lot of different stuff. It has a whole DVD of us playing from back in the 90s, which some of the shows are pretty funny to watch. Yeah, I mean, it's like when we actually have a release date and stuff, I let everybody know.
Awesome.
You know, from this show and on Facebook and all that other fun stuff. But right now, yeah, Rooms of Ruin is going into the studio, and we should have a new full length out probably around October or so.
Yeah, my wife is like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that are local in New York. Ant-Man, who's Paul Rudd, yeah, and the guy who plays Negan, who is Jeffrey Morgan. Jeffrey Morgan. Yeah, they're still not coming to sign in a comic shop in Port Jervis, New York. Okay, you never know, but I have sent messages to. And got zero response. Yeah. Zero response. So, you know.
Don't aim so high.
Yeah. The wife says even Bucky Barnes is in New York City. Yeah. Okay. Dream on. She just wants to meet those guys so she can come and drool over them. So, it's crazy. Also, make sure you're following the Indy Brigade. Technical defects, so you can see End of the Night, David Madison's show. He just had a director and FX guy. The FX guy had done like unbelievable stuff that, off the top of my head, but like a lot of stuff in horror. It was a great show. A lot of insight into horror movie making. Yeah. There it is. It's the Indy. I guess it's the Indy Escape now, is the new name. You can find End of the Night in there. All his shows are there, and he has a lot of shows, and they're great. The O'Halloran. If you want to catch a laugh and just like feel like you're sitting in the room, talking with Brian O'Halloran. He interacts with all the people online. He has it on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, all at the same time. Great show, great laughs. That's the O'Halloran. And then, you know, if you're looking for stuff on comic books, go follow the Comic Book Council. It's a cool show. The guy goes around to all the a bunch of different comic shops, shows you what they're all about, talks about them. We're going to be on his show. We really appreciate him, you know, promoting us on his show. So that's the Comic Council, or the Council of Comics. Might be the Council of Comics. I might be getting it wrong. I'm old. Happens all the time. I know if he hasn't found it already, then I got it wrong. I know he does follow us, and it will be in the description. If it's not already in the description, it'll be in the description when this is on replay. Tales from the Flip Side. Those guys have, you know, we don't always agree on everything, especially because, you know, I'm a comic shop and they're speculators and flippers, and a lot of them are collectors, and sometimes those two butt up against each other, but they have great information. They don't BS, they don't bullshit, they don't pump and dump. They're a good bunch of guys trying to do honest work. So I do like give them a shout out. Tales of the Flip Side, they're a much bigger channel than us anyway. They're not worried about if I've got something bad to say about them. But yeah, if you're also looking for another channel, Lost in Comics with Chris and Oscar, they've reached over 1,000 subscribers now. They're well on their way. They do a great live show every Thursday night where they do. Okay, there's Tales from the Flip Side there, and that's a great show. They have a lot of different shows off of their YouTube channel. They have the Modern Mayhem. They have Tales from the Flip Side. They have Market Report. They are producing a crap ton of content, like more content than you actually need. But because they're doing so much niche, like you definitely can find something in there that you like and enjoy and can learn something from. You're going to learn a lot there. A lot of the spec is a little late. They do have some shows where they're trying to work on earlier specs. So like they have a Market Report, which is the late spec, is the stuff that's all like really going up. Yeah. And then they have other shows, Modern Mayhem and some other ones that are talking about maybe some stuff you can spec on that's $3 and $5 books that like looking out to the future. The only thing is the funny thing is as soon as they mention it's spec worthy.
Oh, it goes up. Oh, well, hey, they got some influence. That's good.
They do have some influence, but it's only because they do know what they do in the research. They do know what they're talking about. Great bunch of guys. But back to Lost in Comics, another great show Chris and Oscar put on. They do toys, they do comics. The Thursday show is like the day after New Comic Book Day, so they go through all that stuff. There's a lot of shows on there. I watch Comic Tom's Hot 10. Which he gets from Key Collector. There's another show I watch. Everybody knows that I've been on Key Collector for a long time. The app just gets better and better. Guy's a good dude. He's also another one that's trying to do the right thing. Listen, nobody's perfect. This is a market. Just like it's become like the stock market. Stuff is going up. Stuff is going down. And it's happened minute to minute. So, something gets optioned, and there's a lot of excitement for the book.
Like price is going to go up.
Oh, all of Warren Ellis's books. Like everybody's like, oh, Warren Ellis is going to be the next guy, obviously, because he's written so much great stuff. Then he gets culture canceled, and like all of his books
go into limbo.
And
it's a shame because there's a lot of stuff.
How can you spec on that? Like you can't.
Well, you can,
so like, the art is good. Maybe the artist isn't. I've heard some of like the things he said. Maybe.
Again, separating the artist from the art. It was
I may have behaved that way in my 20s and 30s.
No comment.
Quite possibly. Luckily, I'm not famous.
I've been a musician for a lot of years, so I got no comment.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my...
Except alcohol and illicit substances may have been involved. Impairing my judgment. That's my story. Anyway.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's a long outro. But we do want to give a call out to all the our friends and family on out there in Facebook and YouTube who are moving the business and the hobby forward. And I promise to get to the giveaways. I owe you guys like 3-4 giveaways. Make comments. I'm going to start counting the comments on the live chat. So I think we probably reached over 100, so I'm going to give that book away. Even if I didn't get to 100, I don't care. I've had it too long. And now that it keeps going, well, it's come back down a little bit. But as soon as they announce the Berserker going to television or to a movie, that book's going to explode again. So stay tuned. We'll be doing spins for that and giving it away. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks. Keep reading comics.
Keep reading comics.